travelers, and welcome to the Come and Go Tavern. My name is Sheela Ornthalis, and I'll be your hostess this afternoon. Today's kitchen special is meat pockets, and it looks like Erica is currently available for a full-service package, if you know what I mean. But if you see anything or anyone else on the menu that you're interested in, just let me know, and we'll see what we can do. I just also realized I forgot to turn my fan down before I hit the go button. So yes, hello Kiwi, enjoy your lurk. Good morning Osiris, and good morrow unto you. All that good stuff. Today is going to be part 5 of my Shadowrun Hong Kong playthrough. Last time we did some damage to a scuzzy museum that was being built as a tax dodge, and did a favor for an ancient spirit of man that I'm sure will never come back to haunt us, right? Plus we learned even more about our crew of misfits, which is always nice. We still have a few side missions to do before we engage with the actual story again, one of which involves Ractor's vendetta. Yip-ee. I will do my best to maintain voice work for this, but it is definitely a workout at the best of times thanks to how large the cast is, and this is my 4th time streaming this week, on top of 2 days worth of really strenuous work in a loud environment, so if my voice falters a little bit, please be forgiving. As always, I will also be available for comments, questions, and concerns about the tavern, as well as regular old conversation, so don't be afraid to fill that chat with discussion. And without any further ado, let's go ahead and... Sorry, I'm looking around my desk for a little armrest thing. I'll grab it during the transition. Speaking of which, let's head over there now. Now, let's see. Did we go to the magic shop before ending the session last time? I don't remember if we did. I know I intended to. So I'm going to go check that out real quick. I also haven't visited these gentlemen in a while. Immediately upon entering, you notice the clutter. Somehow the small magic shop is even messier than... Stacks and stacks of books occupy chairs, tables, tops of shelves. There seems to be even more than first visit. It's as if you just entered a paper factory in spawning season. Peer around a precariously arranged tower of books and find Crafty hungrily reading one journal. Red rings her eyes, tousled hair falls over her face. It looks like she hasn't seen the better part of a pillow in a couple of days. She moves to stretch and spots you. A quick flick of her hand, she marks her place in the journal. Welcome sight. You found anything? I remember I put her voice fairly low. But also I'm not doing my usual voice, which is a little more up here. Not too much. How about you? A slow smile spreads across her cheeks. She nods. This mind-numbing tea is starting to be... Check this out. The dreams that everyone's having, they aren't really dreams. Omens. Also, my subtitling is not picking me up necessarily. From what I've gathered, we're walking a fine line here. They're pretty dangerous attempts to interpret that would lead to mixed results. What do you mean by omens? You know, omens. Harbingers of doom and gloom, and bad things to come. Her mouth twists to the side as she thinks. Just a minute. Maybe I'm not enunciating well enough. Crafty opens a drawer behind the counter and brings out a dictionary. Clears her throat. Okay, I understand that her name is Crafty because she is crafty, but crafty is also a slang term within the entertainment industry for the folks who run... Oh, thank you very much for the coin toss. For the folks who run craft services. So I expect her to, like, my brain keeps being like, ooh, what, does she have grapes? Does she have cookies? Does she have orange juice, maybe? Or even tea? But, getting back to it. Omen. A sign that warns of future events by way of visionary creatures or hallucinations. She closes the book with a thump. So, what causes them? Apparently, these sorts of portents are commonly linked to malign places and disaster sites. They're caused by leakage through wounds between our astral plane. So, what's causing these wounds? Can we stop it? I'm not sure we can. At least I haven't found anything about these texts yet. She lays a hand flat on the countertop and leans forward. We don't want to dive into this haphazardly, madam. Remember, these omens can be dangerous. How are they dangerous? Crafty holds up a finger and starts digging around for another text. After a moment, she locates a small notepad and flips to a dog-eared page. In here it says these visions of dreams, or whatever you want to call them. They're open to interpretation, but interpreting them can be disastrous. Astral space is a place of dream lock. Taking the things you see there too literally can be even more dangerous than Oh no, Mistborn. Oh, I'm so sad to hear that. But hey, at least you get to relax at home, question mark? So, whatever we do, interpret or ignore, we're inviting trouble. You've got it. The slim chance we have to dig for some sort of meaning is through interpretation. But it's not easy to interpret a dream. It's even more difficult to separate the nonsense from the substance. Can you interpret the dreams? Yeah, not setting foot outside today. I had to take some garbage out earlier this morning, and even then it was already starting to heat up, so I fully understand. Crafty plunges the notepad on top of plunks the notepad on top of a nearby book tower. I can't help you interpret your dreams. Whatever they're trying to impart, it's beyond me. All I can do is keep reading. There has to be something in this library that can help us understand what's happening. We're already making strides. Thanks, Crafty. I'll do my best. She smiles tiredly, the bags under her eyes exaggerated by the gesture. Let's have a look at your wares, then. Okay, so I don't really want to pick up any of the elemental fetishes because I'm very limited on funds right now. But I wish I could send Gobbet to pick some up for herself with her own money. The three men are once again fixated on their game board. Jin rubs his hands together nervously, his face twisted. I guess it would be Gin in this case. He rubs his hands nervously, his face twisted in concentration. It appears that Shu now has the upper hand. The silence of the game is deafening. Amateur players would be filling the air with clicks and clacks of the stones against the wooden playing board, relentlessly trying to outdo one another. These men are different. Shio picks up a small black stone. His hand reaches over the board and pauses. Gin stares at the outstretched hand, suddenly still. Shio begins to lower the stone. Down, down. Gin is practically on his toes. And then Shio pulls his hand back. Perhaps not there. He strokes his short beard thoughtfully. Gin tosses his arms into the air, nearly knocking over the plate.
Damn it, Shu. When you start a move, you commit to it. I swear, if you're doing this on purpose.
Friends. Lau interrupts the players. We have a visitor. The two players look up. Gin sighs and holds his face in one hand. He mutters something beneath his breath. Shu's eyes fix on you. He stares unspeaking. His generous smiles and playfulness from before are absent. Sorry to interrupt. I was just wondering if you're still all having the dreams.
This again? Don't you have anything better to do?
Yes, we're all still having the dreams. Lau's voice is calm but troubled.
However, they've gotten a hell of a lot worse.
Gin shifts uncomfortably.
Look, let's not go into detail.
Anything would be great. He mulls this over.
Alright, but afterwards you have to let us finish our game.
Sure. Gin nods approvingly, and glances at Lau and Shio before continuing.
Our dreams have become, unpleasant, so to say. Darker, violent.
He runs his hand along his tightly cropped beard.
Not all that healthy, if you ask me. Especially for men of our age. We come out of them in a daze, sometimes. Feels like we've been punched in the senses. And the imagery.
You can see him shiver as he thinks about it.
Well, I said no details, so no details. That about sum it up, Shu, Master Lau? I have nothing more to add. Shu?
Shu's eyes bore into you.
No, nothing.
Is everything alright, Shu? You've been staring at me for a while. Shu continues to stare at you, his face pale. He opens his mouth and closes it. He seems to be struggling to find his words.
What's wrong with you, Shu? You better not be having a stroke. We're in the middle of a game.
If Shu hurt Gin, he doesn't show it. He looks at you, his eyes widen.
You need to go faster.
His voice is urgent, pleading.
The shadows that follow you are getting closer. Excuse us, madam. Our friend is tired.
Lau clasps a hand over Shu's shoulder. He doesn't seem to notice.
These dreams have taken a toll on all of us. Please come back another time.
I didn't mean to upset anyone. Enjoy your game. As Crafty said, premonitions. The side of Matthew's trailer looks freshly scrubbed, reeks of kerosene. Broad swaths of the flaking paint have been removed, leaving the brittle plastic siding discolored by years of acid rain. You can still see the faded black traces of erased graffiti. It reads, Job Stealer. Something thumps inside the trailer, easily peering into one of the windows. You have a look in. Inside are dingy, cramped living quarters, cluttered with broken drones and unmarked dishes. What looks like a rumpled, motley-colored shag carpet is heaped over half the tiny space, obscuring most of the furniture. After a moment, the shag carpet moves. It rises about a foot and surges slightly towards the window. Then it stops, pulsing and fidgeting. It's hard to see it clearly through the built-up grime on the window. Well, I'm too curious now. The carpet is actually plush-covered drones. Teddy bears, raccoons, little dolls. There must be 24 inside the caravan, all companionship models. They're all looking at you, as if they've realized you're not Matthew. They watch, fidgeting. Then, in one coordinated motion, they all lie down and go dormant again. Aww. Matthew needs friends. Reliable Matthew greets you with an expansive grin, sweeping his arms wide.
Madam, beautiful. What do I owe this unexpected pleasure? Why, you're not here for some robotics, are you? Well, shucks.
He rolls his shoulders ostentatiously and sticks his cigarillo between his teeth. His eyes have a strained, bloodshot look. Looks like someone vandalized your trailer.
Ah, what? Ah, you mean the paint? That's just some neighborhood kids. Good kids having a lark. I nearly fell over laughing when I saw it this morning.
What exactly are the drones you sell used for?
Well, just about everything. They're helpers to metahumans in all sorts of useful ways. Drones cook, clean, carry messages, lift heavy loads, tend to delicate tasks. Why, drones can even care for the infirm and provide companionship to children.
Matthew taps his temple with his finger, meaningfully.
Think about it, beautiful. All the boring, dangerous, painful jobs that people used to do. The jobs that drones do now.
He glances around at Hayway and up at the walled city looming above. Despite his bright eyes and gleaming smile, his voice sounds almost thoughtful.
Because of mechanization, we don't force workers to breathe as many chemicals in the refineries. We don't make teenage girls pick silk cocoons out of boiling water. Not anymore. Drones help us.
He shakes off his passing air of seriousness, clamps his cigarillo in his teeth, thrusts his hands in his pocket.
And really something else, ain't they?
How do people in Hayway feel about drones?
How do people feel about drones? Why, they love them! Just about every household that can afford drones has drones. You sure you don't want to try out this little UC-2 tarantula? It's a great entry-level personal assistant.
Reliable Matthew smiles widely, but the edges of his mouth twitch uncomfortably.
Drones free people to take skilled jobs. They make the economy more efficient, and drones give poor people services they couldn't afford otherwise.
Why would someone call you a job stealer?
No idea. Drones are job makers!
He waggles his cigarillo at you.
I know what you're thinking, madam. I think it myself. Drones take jobs. Well, medicine takes jobs from undertakers, and sewer drones take jobs from people who used to crawl through filth to feed their families.
He holds his hand somberly over his heart, and his voice deepens.
When you see a drone messenger or maid, it's easy to think that used to be a person. Could be, but that person can do another job now, and they can have a drone themselves. Everyone is better off. Why?
Matthew's voice rises. His smile wrinkles painfully around the edges as he carries on enthusiastically.
The same people who call drones drone dealers job stealers often themselves come to me for...
Matthew suddenly shuts up. His smile gets even more waxy.
Hey, let's not get all wound up about this stuff. It's too cheery a day for running off in our heads.
Hey, maybe and hear me out. If there are all these drones doing jobs for humans, maybe humans don't need to have jobs anymore. You're right, Osiris, and in a perfect world, that would be the case. Unfortunately, Shadowrun is very much a reflection of the capitalist hellscape in which we currently live. Just 5 minutes into the future, as it were. Actually getting less and less far from the future by the day, I suppose.
Wow, madam, just smell that brisk spring air.
He inhales deeply through his nose, drawing in the fetid reek of the polluted river and the sodden heat of monsoon season.
This topic is fascinating, really fascinating, but I've got to get back to work. Shall we walk the lot?
I was gonna say, not that far from the future. Yeah, I mean, it's the 2050s, so... not that far. I noticed you have a lot of drones in your trailer. Reliable Matthew smiles serenely at you.
Drones in the trailer? I think I have a couple of them there. Probably ones I'm fixing.
Probably. The repair work must never end.
You gotta keep them running. They need to work. If they're going to work for me.
Alright, let's look at drones then. Let's see. Okay, these are the ones that I already own. So we got a Robodoc Mark II and a Doberman Mark II. ML bots are taking our jobs. Well, if we tax the trillionaire appropriately and had UBI, this wouldn't be a problem. But anyway, yeah, I don't have that Marxism intensifies redeem up yet, buddy. But yeah, no, this is where it would go. Let's see. You wanted to use that? Oh no, I'll see what I can do over the course of the break. How about that? Maybe by the end of the stream we'll have a new redeem. Okay, so we got the Strato 9 hover drone in in a few different shapes actually. Specifically over here, but I think the Steel Lynx is probably going to be my best one. Ooh, as tempting as the room speed perversion. The spell check doesn't even recognize trillionaire as a word. Yeah. Okay, so as tempting as it is to get the shotgun version of the Steel Lynx, I feel like that would be a bad idea. Mostly because I don't want to put the drones in too much direct danger. Smoke grenades and a target designated. So the Sundowner is almost certainly the better option for me. Smoke grenades can be nice if you're going for like a mixed Street Samurai and Rigger build, for instance, where you're doing mostly melee stuff, but you want to have something to use smoke grenades to kind of cover your advance. Ooh. It's already outstripped, but the sniper drone here is a very strong choice. Alright, we'll go with the standard Steel Lynx Mark II today. And up you go.
Like the old songs say, a droney day is a happy day.
Alright, Matthew. Have a good evening. Did we already deal with everything on our mission computer? Good messages. Post pay data. Okay, we did. I think we already read everything in here. Well, we've got a side thing to do here. Oh, wait. Let's go ahead. Oh, that's already in our stash. Good. Good, good. You're back with a start. Once again, you're tangled in your sheets, drenched in sweat. Your throat feels like it's on fire. You can't remember what your dreams were about. Not precisely, but again, you feel that yearning sensation. The emptiness in your gut and in your chest. Your head throbbing. Heave yourself out of bed. Ooh. Alright, glad I checked. So, territoriality. Gain rat totem, destroy spirit. Goblet's rat totem invocation deals 99 damage to any hostile spirit. The spell can only be used on spirits. Steal spirit. Invocation can steal control of spirits that are summoned by enemy shamans. Note that only one spirit can be under control until rank 5 spirit control, where it increases to 2. Ooh. So, stealing a spirit or removing a spirit. Oh, that That's a tough choice. Okay, so we're essentially looking at here is either almost instantly removing a spirit, an enemy character, or gaining essentially more actions on our own side for a short period. I think the action economy makes a little more sense. Like, territoriality is a strong-ass spell, but I think that's... Oh, I think stealing a spirit is better here. Isabel gains a pistol ability that increases accuracy by 30% and critical chance by a small amount for one shot. Okay. Integrated tactical computer marks weak points in an opponent's armor. Isabel's marked target ability now reduces the target's armor by 1. Ooh. Stripping armor is always a good choice. Alright, this only benefits her, but this can benefit the entire team. Duncan gains an assault rifle ability that has a 99 chance to hit an enemy with less than 25% HP remaining. Or Duncan's subdue ability has its cooldown reduced from 3 rounds to 2 rounds. Alright. Dramatically improved accuracy is always good. Oh, and we actually have 2 abilities to choose on Guide 2. Gains a defensive ability that adds +2 armor and +1 dodge. Gains a claw ability, Rip, does an additional 2 damage and 2 bleeding for 2 rounds. We're gonna go with armor, because that's sustainable. Gains a defensive ability, gains a ranged ability, quick shuriken toss. 12 HP, 1 AP, max range 10. Gaichu gains a ranged ability, spitting infected saliva into the target's face. Ignores all armor. Damage 8 with an additional 4 damage for 2 rounds. Oh. We gotta go with the one that ignores all armor. Oh, and we also have an upgraded Raptors. Koshe gains +5 accuracy boost to all attacks. +1 movement speed, moving 7 tiles per 1 AP. Ooh. A 5% accuracy boost isn't huge, but bonus movement is. Shotgun mount. Raptor's drone gains an auto shotgun attachment. Does an additional 2 damage at the cost of -5% accuracy. And hit adjacent targets at ranges of 6 or greater. Versus a Mangler, the Raptor's drone Koshe mounts a saw blade arm in the melee systems. This attack's critical chance is greatly boosted. No, we gotta go. If we're going melee, we gotta dedicate. Yes. There we go. Real quick, let's go ahead. Oh. There we go. I suppose my character hadn't finished running yet. And do I have anything I can spend on karma on? No, not right this second, because we're good to go there. Alright, let's let's take a look. Go to the Ares Asia Holdings facility to plant the data. Okay, first thing it wants us to do is travel to Wuxing Tower to commit geomantic sabotage. Alright, let's start at the top of the list. We're gonna bring Raptor. Absolutely gonna bring Gobbet. And let's bring Isabel as well. Just again, these three are kind of our most solid team here. Extremely well-rounded, you know? The subway flies over the tracks toward Aberdeen. Monsoon humidity clings to your skin as if it's followed you from Hayway. Or perhaps it's simply sunk this far into the earth, penetrating stone and machine, rousing the acrid smells of Hong Kong's underground in its wake. You've been handed a promising job, geomantic sabotage, with a single objective: disrupt the flow of Wuxing Qi to destabilize the corporation. Your client is especially keen on the idea of Wuxing's famed geomancy being used against it. The ultimate humiliation. While the corporation's office spaces are free game, the main target is Wuxing's treasured lotus statue, which resides within a temple in the topmost floor of the monolithic building. Your client's instructions are clear. The more damage you do, the worse the chi, the better they pay. Okay, Gobbet already has this spell. You don't need her to take the mummy spirit. That'll come in useful later. The subterranean accessway opens to one of Wuxing Tower's few employees-only entrances. The only underground access point to Wuxing's restricted levels. Security is tight. It's unheard of for unauthorized personnel to reach the upper levels. Naturally, that's where you're headed. Gobbet presses a slip of laminated plastic into your hand. A grainy black and white reproduction of your own face stares back at you. The rest of the card is filled with a barcode. She leans in to whisper into your ear. Kindly wanted you to have this. Spoofed credentials fresh off of Maximum Law's card printer. These should get you past the front door. You wouldn't count on them getting much further, though. I guess that the client said something about other ways to bypass the check-in system inside the building, but he didn't go into specifics. She shrugs. Kindly had some choice words about that, but whatever. We'll find a way past security. Almost on cue, a sturdy Wuxing security officer peers up at you from behind the desk console.
Evening, ma'am. Swipe yourself in.
He gestures to the ID scanner in front of him. Yeah, we're gonna swipe our spoofed credentials. He looks at his console, then back at you. His eyebrows rise as he observes your company.
You realize your credentials only allow you access through floor 10, right?
Of course, I have new credentials with guest privileges waiting for me inside. That's why I'm here, to pick them up. The officer nods curtly.
Right. Go ahead and grab your new creds at the check-in terminal. Have a good night, man.
Hey, Mom! I'm having trouble with that dance move you showed me earlier.
Okay, well, show me what you got, sweetie.
Up and down and.
Okay, I see where it's going wrong. Give me just a moment. You know what? We're just in time for a commercial break anyway, so I'm going to go ahead and send us right to that. And then we will look into how we're going to get everyone else upstairs in just a moment. So everyone stand up, stretch, refresh your refreshments, and we'll be back after the commercial. Alright. So, first off, you're going to start in a standard position, and then you're going to take a jump to the left. So left foot first, right foot next. generally speaking, it's always a good idea to start off with having somebody hack. So we'll go ahead and do that. Oh. Oh, shit. Ah, I was one square away. Locker ice rating 7. Ooh. System trace on failure. Okay. Alright, time for some Simon Says. Alright, so you're a candidate. Nope. Okay, possible. Yes, it's you. Okay. Here we go. Oh! Ah! Excuse the fuck out of you. How did that miss? Rude. Ow. There we go. Oh, indeed, it is in fact scuff time. Alright, more Simon Says. Alright, so potentially, nope. Maybe? Yes, this one. Okay. Let's see, is there anything else interesting in here? Right, you turn around that direction. Oh, shit. Probably could have ended that in one, but I also would have ended up raising the trace and having to deal with another enemy in doing so. Where the fuck am I supposed to be going here? Oh my goodness. I should have hugged that wall. Alright, we've got this. We've got this. Alright, you're gonna go back that way. Alright. Let's go. Damn. So we've got M's and W's. I think it might be this one. Yeah, it's that one. Tiny. goodness. Oh, goodness gracious me. Alright, we actually have to do something a little more aggressive here. Let's get around to there. Why are there 4 enemies? Or is it just trying to account for the enemy that's already dead? Oh, I don't like the amount of trace I'm working up to. I do appreciate that the programs, or that my program's derevs right now, though. I don't have to drag them along behind me. Possibility. Possibility it's this guy. It is this guy. Okay. And we have a security override. Oh, this has been a very productive hacking session. Right, this one. Oh, damn it, got. There we go, and we are hacked. Employee check-in. We're gonna go ahead and use the security override, alter existing credential clearance. We're now able to alter the existing information and clearance level of wishing employee ID, spoofed ID. Swipe heightened employee ID. Multi-personnel pass accepted, access granted. Greetings, Miss C. Pung. Have a nice evening. Terminal emits a chirp of recognition. Everything checks out. Thanks. Do I want to go into the maintenance room? think I'm good. Is that okay? We don't really know about that. Okay. You know what? Fuck it. Let's not push our luck. This pristine, hyper-stylized office glistens as if every surface had been polished. Our client has requested that this area be manipulated as subtly as possible so as not to draw attention away from the temple. The true defacement will happen there, distracting Wuxing's security. Hopefully they won't discover the disrupted chi flow on this floor for weeks. Light and dark balance is key. Maintaining good chi. Good spotting, Gobbit. Prototype weapon sits locked in its stand. Its locking mechanisms are seemingly tied to the weapon's operation and safety. Forcing it could damage the weapon. Machine Research Terminal main menu. Welcome, user. Please select from the following options. Several folders appear in a second window below the first. A couple look useful. Amidst the documents, a few nuggets of information stand out. A section dedicated to Wuxing's buildings chi details the geomancy plans and renovations they've made to increase chi flow. It appears that Wuxing's already made hundreds of minuscule and a handful of not so minuscule adjustments to its floor plans and building infrastructure. A recently updated file marks its project to add new water lines for the temple's fountain is complete. The document ends with a large list of future modifications that the company has queued for completion. All ways to improve its positive energy output. Wuxing Research Terminal. You click on the folder, and a large repository of files containing Wuxing Research project. One section is labeled with a symbol similar to the markings on the weapon, just a few feet away from you. A quick scan of the data reveals information about weapon and lab setup. Okay. Through the specifications. Through the specifications file, you learn that the locks on the cradle are magnetized. The description of its current and some applied force should remove the restraints entirely. So let's. Pistol has been customized with a bullet silvering chamber, creating makeshift flechette. Or slithering chamber, excuse me. Oh goodness. Flechette, making flechettes when fired. This lowers accuracy but can cause mild to extreme bleeding in the target. Heck yes, we're going to take that. For now, let's give it to Gobbit. The generator rests unguarded before you. A shock to the system could compromise the computer main. I don't have a code right now, so. Oh, T-point. ever so slightly out of position. Gotta throw off the feng shui of the space, you know? Nope, that's elevators down there. There's a wall safe. Don't have a code for that either. Yeah, that sounds like company. Of course it does. Aha, I see. Let's test out his new buzzsaw, shall we? He missed. Yeah, let's grab that guy. Already making good use of our new power with Gobbet. Oh, there's another enemy out there. I see. Let's heat a grenade. Never a better time to do so than when the enemy is alone. Ooh, thank you very much for the actual size, Osiris. No back pops, but good stretches nonetheless. Thank you very much. Wow, you're just fully taking care of the goblin today. Thank you very much for the hydration. Full care package. Alright, I think I'm just gonna end the turn there. Let's see. You need any repairs? I know somebody took some damage. Let's get the Robodocs and that bonus accuracy. Why not? Oh, way off the mark, Gobbit. Or not Gobbit, Isabel. Right. Then we are instantly going to restart. Because this guy just fell out of Gobbit's control. But that basically meant that we had free shots, you know? She is nice and disrupted in here now. Oh, 8484, huh? It says that's the mainframe code, but I'm gonna try it here too. The fact that it was circled several times. Ooh, some crit stick. Well, it's 150 new yen. That's not bad, I suppose. For context, the general weight of a new yen, if someone ever wants to know how much a new yen is a new yen is worth one hamburger. I'm not even joking. Like, it's a great way of kind of aligning how your financial system in a game works. I fucking love it. He was using a loud air blower. What was that about New Yen? Okay, so to give yourself context for how much a New Yen is worth, one New Yen equals one hamburger. And so, like, it is a great way of, like, weighting how your financial system in a game works. Much like in the world of Vania, 1 gold is 1 hour's worth of work. Or 1 meal. That's where I got it from, actually. Alright, I'm calling it. We've thoroughly disrupted the balance of chi, and Rat's feeling antsy here with all of these energy shifts. Let's hit the temple statue and get out. The chi is becoming more and more turbulent. It has reached a point where there's churning energy as a physical manifestation visible in the atrium. Disruptions are working. Oh, I hate that. Like, I am not a spiritual person whatsoever, but When a space is put together wrong, it does have an effect. Oh. Of course, you know, I should have seen that coming. I should have seen that coming. Alright, let's get into cover. Steel links. Let's put the steel links into cover. Raptor there. And bring up Goshe. Put her on a chi line. Bring up the Robodoc. Then Robodoc gets to heal me. Move up. And lob a grenade. Nice. Did we investigate? No, I immediately went sort of east. But I also know that there are more spirits up there. So let's get steel links in a good position. Then also bring up Goshe. Alright, it sounds like we're properly into combat now. I know they've got at least one more spirit. Gobbit. You give the Robodoc some bonus accuracy. Ah, miss. Move Fractor up to there. And again, we're gonna get some bonus accuracy. We missed, but we still do a little bit of damage. Thank you, Splash. Okay, so we can see that we can desecrate the statue. I guess that is our main objective. I wish there was a way to make the clickable things permanently light up like that. Because otherwise I just have to kind of hold down the Alt key. It's very annoying. Well, we have a new thing about limiting security. Oh, that's got it. Okay. Aldrich man steps forward, his peers staring smugly in your direction. His clothes are smart and clearly expensive, but lack a typical padding worn by guards and thugs. A quick look at his associates reveals the same. Mages. On behalf of Lushing Incorporated, we've been instructed to prevent you from your further vandalizing of the company's property and assets. However, they never specified how, so I vote we do this the easy way. The mage motions to you with a flick of his wrist. Leave no survivors.
The fire brought a gross bug inside again.
Oh no. Did he let it loose or does he still have a hold of it?
It's in a jar, but
Okay.
Lynn's looking at it like it's candy.
Oh, nerds. Okay, give me just a second. We've got a commercial break coming up soon anyway, so I suppose now is a good time, as good a time as any. Go ahead and take that. Everyone stand up, stretch, refresh your refreshments. We'll be back in 5 minutes to take down these Corvo mages, alright? Okay. Alright, so, there, if I can get you to distract Lynn, I will make sure that Sam. I hope you're enjoying your lurk. Would that at some point we were both awake enough to properly chat in each other's streams. Because I know usually by the time you're streaming, I am completely toasted. Well, no, toasted implies the wrong thing. I am completely exhausted. And I feel like it's the same for you going in the other direction. So I hope you can have a nice chill day, is what I'm getting at. Right now, we are disrupting the feng shui of Wishing Incorporated's main headquarters. That's probably the safest place I can get her to. Ooh. Ow. Alright, let's give Koshi a little bit of a boosty. And give the steel links some bonus accuracy. You know what? Fuck it. Koshi, go ahead with your bone saw. Oh, there's another chi point. Oh, miss. You know, the general rule of this game is always geek the mage. That gets a little awkward when you're fighting so many mages, though. Oof, ow. Rude. Alright, well those two are gonna need some major healing this Ow! Shame on them, shame on their families, and shame on their cow. Exactly, Ogre Daddy. Exactly. You get it. How are you doing today, Ogre Daddy? Hope you're doing well. Oh, completely missed. Well, not completely, but let's do go ahead. Heal that. They're sitting on those ley lines. They are extremely rude of them, really. But Koshei's gonna come and deal with them. Ooh. Can I nail just about all of them? Well, kind of. I gave Koshei the bone saw. Dragon lions, wrong side of the world. Hey, fair enough, fair enough. Actually, let me give you a little bit of manual focusing. Give Isabel a little bit of bonus accuracy. Doing good, tired. It's summer break and the kids already begun to sharpen their sticks and attack each other. Oh. Yeah. Kids will do that, unfortunately. You know, let's take some shots at this guy. Yep, you're down. But hey, it'll be nice to be out on summer break with them for a little while. Or at least to have them out for summer break for a little while. Because you get to spend more time with them, you know? Next week, a local program starts where they can go hippity-hoppity through the woods to a Kid Scout installation. Nice, 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 nice. Alrighty. So let's see. We can set fire to these bushes over here. That's an awful lot. There's gotta be something else we can do, because I don't think I missed anything downstairs. Cannot wait for them to spend their energy on finding the bestest stick instead of making their siblings' life hell. Yeah, yeah. Oh, there's another one. Nice. And I gained a karma point. Which seems a little counterintuitive if you ask me, but you know. Disrupting somewhere else's chi and gaining karma for that? Alright. But, c'est la vie. As you reach for the elevator's control panel, you can feel the electric sensation of the chi dancing across your skin. And feng shui has been trashed. Exactly, exactly. This feeling is noticeable to those not even magically attuned. The disruption here is that strong. Behind you, the trapped and turbulent chi swirls inside the iconic Sky Tower atrium. You can actually see the air around the atrium warp and ebb as the chi surges and breaks away against the obstacles around it. Looking for a way to move, to flow, and finding none. Job is done. You have desecrated the Wuxing Lotus, and in doing so, blemished the prideful face of a megacorp. I've been feeling a lot of things, but I've never seen or felt chi this way. I imagine this is what it must feel like for an attuned person inside the Walled City. Isabel says, as she shudders. It must be unbearable. The elevator arrives at the temple. Time to duck out the back door before the security can respond further. Nice. Wuxing won't know it hit them. The embarrassment of their own gym geometric science turned against them will sit unfavorably on the tongues of whooshing employees, and maybe even get a few people terminated. They'll know it wasn't just the building you battered. You sent a message. Everyone has a weakness that can be exploited. The change in feng shui should keep them spinning for months. The complete disruption of their qi and the destruction of their temple will cripple the energy of this branch of the company. And with Wuxing focusing on restoring the temple, it will be a long time before they discover the full extent of your assault. You love the concept of qi being a tangible energy you can direct. Hello, Toxan. Yeah. Lurking, but you're hoping I'm doing well. Yep, of course I am. And I appreciate you being here. Just hang out. That's the best I can add. Well, no, that phrasing got ahead of me. I love it when people hang out, whether they're speaking or not. I just love having everybody in the audience. But yeah, no, Ogre Daddy, I would be really interested to see some papers on whether the ancient concept of feng shui could really be more of an accessibility thing interpreted through the lens of Taoism. Because, like, that's always how I've used it. Like I've said many a time before, I am not spiritual in the least. But paying attention to the flow of people through a room and how they use a space changes how you tend to organize things. You're more careful about, like where the legs of furniture are, how air flows through a space to keep spaces cool and not muggy or stuffy and all of those sorts of things. How light interacts with things. Are you allowing natural sunlight in at certain points of the days in certain rooms, or are you focusing primarily on artificial lighting? If so, what kind of artificial lighting are we looking at? UV LEDs that interact with a phosphor in order to mimic natural sunlight, or are we going with just standard colors of LEDs being either bright or dim, warm or cool, all of those sorts of things? Then there is also the aesthetic of an area, which can change the mood of those who are involved. Again, there aren't spiritual things behind it, but they very much interact with human psychology in subtle and interesting ways that people can take for spirituality. And then also, oh my goodness, infrasound from pipes, from airflow, from all of these sorts of things can always ruin a space. But yeah. It's very fun. It's a very fun concept to think about. Oh, and I think my voice has gotten a little warmed, or it cooled down. Give me just a second to get some more water myself. All right. Yeah, my voice feels a little less strange now. The comlink chirps. It's kindly Chung. Hello, Auntie. Hello, my darling. There's a thrill in her voice that you haven't heard before. Come see me at once. I have something I want to show you. Your crew is already here. I'll be there right away. Mixing everyday utility to raise productivity and wellness in a space with spirituality seems like a natural approach, since they were connected in the first place. Yep, exactly. And when you don't have a non-spiritual way of interpreting the world in a scientific manner, interpreting it through spirituality seems like the most natural thing, because that you're already telling these tales to explain how the world came to be and how it functions. So yeah, that just makes the most sense. And yeah, hello, Auntie. Hi, Auntie.
Very good, my sweet. Very good. I'll see you shortly.
Alright, so we've still got other jobs to go do, but I think it's going to be best to go see Kindly Direct, since she did call specifically for us. Nope. You already know how the world works, right? So obviously this new thing fits right in. Exactly. You have to interpret things through the lens with which a culture sees the world. Alright, I'm not ready to talk to him yet. Because that's another mission. As you walk through the Mahjong parlor, you see your crew waiting for you. It's fairly uncomfortable to be so close to the Triad boss. Then you see why. Candy Chung's cheeks are flushed and glowing. She's already hit the bottle pretty hard.
Ah, madam. You're here. Excellent. Yes, madam. It's good to see you.
They both have their expressions that say they'd rather be anywhere else. Let's get to it, shall we? You said you had a lead, Auntie? I did, and I do. Kindly Chung takes out her PDA and gently places it on the table in front of her.
The wiretap we placed on the police force has borne fruit.
Her mouth breaks into a wolfish grin. Her eyes take on a feral gleam. She appears fueled by alcohol and vengeance, a hungry beast on the hunt.
My people have delivered a snippet of a recorded video call between the plastic-faced man and the Chief Inspector Crate, the Special Duties Unit.
Well,
it should be good. Should we take a seat?
Unfortunately, it's only a snippet. There were some technical difficulties with the tap. She glances at Bao, who nods back at her.
The person responsible for this has been sacked.
Chung reaches out with a lacquered fingernail, hunts for the button she's looking for, and stabs it in victory. There's a loud crackling noise at the beginning of the recording, followed by a squelching squeal that makes Gobbet cover her ears in pain. When the video recording begins, the man's voice sounds far away, as if he's talking through a thick pane of glass. The woman's is louder. Closer. Oh, shoot, I forgot what voice I gave her. Say that again? There's something wrong with this line.
I said, my client isn't interested in hearing more excuses, Inspector.
But that's what I thought you said. I'm not making excuses, mister. I have a department to run.
Not for much longer, if those two Westerners aren't found. They're linked to this Raymond Black somehow, and my client wants them out of circulation immediately.
The two runners are his accomplices too, the little orc and the dwarf with the cyberdeck. Gobbet looks at Isabel, wide-eyed, and swallows hard. Isabel winks back reassuringly.
I'm afraid, Inspector. Or I'm aware, Inspector. Thank you. We don't know how much any of them know, and my client is adamant that the risk can be mitigated immediately.
I've already made this the SDU's highest priority. If Josephine wants more resources on it, I'm going to need allocations from elsewhere in the department.
That is a problem that can be easily dealt with. My client wants this over now. No more excuses. No more fuck-ups. No more cops floating in the river.
Kindly Chung smiles at that, pours herself a shot. Tell her we're redoubling our efforts.
Very good. Dead or alive, you bring them to me. My client requires my personal identification. The threat has been eliminated. And verification as well.
Hang on, the line is getting worse. There's a sharp crackle and the recording ends. Kindly Chung picks up her PDF and puts it away with a smile. She unscrews the cap of her bottle and pours herself a shot with a flourish. That's the guy we saw in the surveillance footage. The one who killed Raymond Black, Gobbet says as she leans on into the PDA. That plastic face looks a lot cooler up close. I think it's kind of pretty, Isabel adds.
That video doesn't tell us much. I mean, we already know that there's an APB on us. All we're sure of now is that the man with the plastic face is definitely working for someone else. This, Josephine.
Is that all we have, Auntie? A first name?
It's not just a first name, Gobbet dear. It's the first name. Josephine Sung. She's the one pulling the strings.
Kindly downs her shot and slams the glass upside down on her table.
That disease-riddled dog fucker. I should have known it was her from the beginning.
She drums her fingers on the table in front of her.
She had the nerve to call down the heat on my runners, on my job. Scabrous Foster is going to pay.
So, friend of yours? Chung makes a wet, hacking noise at the back of her throat and spits on the floor. She's the CEO of Tsang Mechanical Services and a member of the Hong Kong Executive Council. Her face turns to a mask of disgust. Josephine dog-fucking Tsang. A CEO, huh? What do you know about her? She was Hong Kong's Philanthropist of the Year in 2054 and 2050. Children's hospitals, homeless shelters, food distribution network. Good causes. And the kind that get good PR because people are too lazy and myopic to look for the real people. Artwork. Face to face with the poor work. Don't be so cynical, Isabel. Auntie Chung smiles with her sweetly. Coming face to face with the unsanitized for video poor is distasteful, dear. You know that. Her face gets stony. Beyond being a CEO and a philanthropist, I also know that Josephine Tsang is a lying, conniving bitch. Philanthropist and bitch. Those two sound... no, I'm gonna go with the other one. Sounds like you two have a history together. Whatever gave you that impression, my sweet? Her wolfish smile returns. Yes, my darling, I don't like Josephine Tsang. And I'm going to fuck her up. I'm going to fuck her up bad. Care to elaborate on that, Auntie? No. She picks up her bottle of swill. Its turpentine fumes drift your way. Not now. Not today. You'll be there, my darling. I'll make it a party. So, what is Tsang Medical Service or Mechanical Services? Josephine's baby. It was a B-rated corporation before she married into the Tsang family. But after she fought for and won the contract to build Kowloon Walled City, their fortunes rose high. They began a rise to power that eventually landed Josephine on the Executive Council. Wait, so there's a connection between Josephine Tsang and the Walled City? Yes, the same place Raymond Black hired my runners to take him. I've already connected those dots. I don't know what it means, but it clearly means something. So, what do you think the connection is between Josephine Tsang and this plastic-faced man? Don't know yet, but I will. Her client called... He called her his client. That may be some sort of lead we can follow. Says Duncan. Chung nods at Boo. Her glance lingers at his bicep a moment before continuing. Horny old lady. Love it for her. Love that for her. Right now, all we know is that he is an instrument. The one who killed Raymond Black. Raymond's not dead. Yes, you may have mentioned that before, Gunshow. She smiles at him reprovingly. Regardless, the plastic-faced man is still our best lead. Exactly, Osiris, exactly. And the plastic-faced man is still our best lead for figuring out what's going on. Remind me of who this executive council is again. Isabel breaks in, giving kindly Chung a chance to calm down a bit. May I, Auntie? Hong Kong is run by a consortium of powerful corporations called the Board of Governors, who set up the Executive Council. It's an 8-member committee of exemplary Hong Kong citizens who represent the people and run the city on their back. But of course, you don't vote for them. That would be too unpredictable. Instead, every 2 years, 2 Executive Council slots come up for election, and the corporations on the Board of Governors put up some possible candidates and vote amongst themselves in a closed-door session. Closed door? I'm shocked. Of course, every single one of those candidates is on some corporation's payroll, somehow. Wham, bam, instant government. Alright, let's cut to the chase then. What's our next step? There's nothing we can do to touch Josephine Tsang, as much as I hate to admit. But the plastic-faced man is a different story. He's a third-party operative who's been careless, and he'll live to regret it. Kindly's little black eyes turn stony. For a while. If Tsang thinks she can take out 2 of my runners and get away with it, I'm going to have to explain things to her. She pulls out a thin black cigar and runs it underneath her. We're going to find the plastic-faced man, and we're going to hurt him. We'll hurt him until we know everything he does. And then we will use that to strike back at Josephine Tsang. She lights her cigar and takes a deep pull. Deep. Deep. You will have your vengeance, and I will have my own satisfaction. She turns away and picks up the bottle. Now get out. I have work to do. Alright, let's go get paid. I love the dialogue in this game. It is really fantastic. Your workstation and mission computer. The cool blue tones of the workstation's main menu fill the screen. Let's check our messages. Auntie Chung and Josephine. This is from Gobbet, so... Hey, Seattle. I think I can add a little context to that thing between Auntie and Josephine Song. You know? The thing that makes Auntie hit the sauce and talk revenge. This is a combo of stuff I heard and stuff I put together myself, so your mileage may vary. For years, the Yellow Lotus acted as tax collectors within the Walled City. Since the Walled City was built by Josephine Song and the Yellow Lotus was run by Auntie Chung, they must have had a working business relationship. For a while, anyway. From what Nightjar told me, he was her favorite. You got that right. Auntie was known as a real up-and-comer back then. She was on the fast track to being the next Yellow Lotus 438. That's a big deal gig, Seattle. Money and power galore. Now, you need to know that there were a lot of triads and corps doing biz in the Walled City. All sorts of stuff. Sometimes they would work together nicely, and sometimes people get bloody. The way that I heard it, Auntie came up with some sort of grand plan to consolidate businesses within the Walled City. The power would be split between the Yellow Lotus and Song's company. Everybody else would get cut out. If her plan worked, Auntie would rise in the Lotus like nobody's business, and Josephine Song would make a long bank. It was a catch, though. In order for the plan to work, both women would need to jump through a lot of hoops. There'd be street-level maneuvering and power plays on Auntie's side, and blackmail and negotiations on the corporate level from Josephine Song. My info gets sketchy here. From what I've pieced together, Song went behind Auntie's back and took her plan to her boss, a 438 named Wong Lung Fat. They cut kindly out of her own plan. Why'd Song do that? My guess is that she saw Auntie as some sort of threat. People in the know say that Wong Lun Fat is weak and greedy. She can be manipulated if her palm remains well greased. Long story short, power was consolidated in the Walled City, just like Auntie planned. Only she didn't wind up getting any of it. Her climb up the Lotus Ladder came to an abrupt halt. She's still a straw sandal, just like she was before Song backstabbed her. And now she's stuck in Haoi like a fly in amber. I'd be pissed too if it were me. Yeah, fair enough, Cobbett. Fair enough. From Kylie Chung. Little bird whispered in my ear that Wuxing's fortunes are already falling. Their stock value dropped by 2% already. The client finds this to be an acceptable indication of your success and has forwarded payment. I've attached your cut to this email. Nice. Fred, looking for a decker. Looking for experienced decker for a discreet milk run on a low-level corporate lab. Potential for a longer-term arrangement. We're a team that's been together for years, running your basic heists and the occasional transport gig. We've got a reliable fixer and a long list of happy clients. Requirements. You must not take any experimental stims during runs. You must have a good sense of humor. Give me some Indian 888. Weren't you just looking for a decker a little while back? I saw your ad, but I was wrapping up a one-time run with an old partner who's moved away. I'd be interested in meeting. Isn't Muffin Top Ninja your phys ad? Runs with Scissors 2056. Did someone call my name? Muffin Top Ninja. Hey, MTN. Long time no beer. You gotta catch up, Sensei. Bring me on as your decker. I guess the kid who answered your last ad didn't work out? Runs with Scissors. That's an understatement. I think we can count on you not to consume any drugs during runs, most specifically drugs that were part of the payload. fatal experimental drugs that were part of the payload. Muffin Top Ninja. Ouch. Guns with scissors. That's not even a rookie error, it's just lack of common sense. A real shame that. Anyway, I'm glad you're on board, Runs. We're not going to have a problem with you. Next thread. Want to trade eyes? We'll take anything. I acquired a huge supply of cutting-edge cybernetic eyes. My Finns did a runner, and so now I've got eyes up to my eyeballs, as it were. Make me an offer. Shankmeister 007. You got a whole 9 yards, 2010 vision, camera, low light and thermographic modes, one size fits all, sold in pairs only, boxed set. Shankmeister 007. Colors, brown, blue, violet, hazel, green, green flecked with gold, chrome, and you've got to install them yourself. I'll trade you a Ranger Arms SM3. Comes with a matching briefcase, squinty face. Deal, message me, Shankmeister 007. Can I swap you my old cyber eyes for a new set? Lex Talionis, Talionis. Seriously, anything but that, Shankmeister 007. Can I buy one blue and one brown left buy? Hunky Dory 71. No, but you can buy 2 pairs. Sheesh. Yeah, Shankmeister specifically said sold in pairs. Uncle Tsay's House of Pork. Anyone ever has a hankering to go to Uncle Tsay's House of Pork in Dio? I can say only one thing. For the love of all that's holy, don't. I haven't been able to leave my house in 2 days. The only reason I can even post here is because the RAS override on my deck. Really? What did you eat? Maybe they were just unlucky. So yum yum cha. All I had was some shumai and ribs. That's pretty basic and hard to mess up. Unlucky is when I went to get a bad orange at the market. This isn't unlucky. This is something else. This is some kind of vile gastrointestinal sorcery. Really. Oh my god, I ate there once. Once. I still have nightmares. I felt like I'd eaten a wasp nest if the wasps were made of rusty razors and also on fire. Mouthful. I thought I was being clever by getting the pulled pork sandwich when I ate there. Nope. Aside from basically being a pile of congealed sludge and the bread being moldy, it was a week before I could hold down anything more solid than congee. Le Typics. What, are you all a bunch of children? Yeah, the kitchen is dirty, but I've eaten there dozens of times, and not once have I ever gotten sick. Grow up and learn to eat adult food. Ratstar123. Wait a second, aren't you the person who was raving about the food cart on the corner of Kimberly and Observatory? You told me to get the yuzu glazed horse tripe? Malfu? Yeah, how'd you like it? Pretty good, huh? Ratstar123. I have a suspicion this is gobbet. If by good you mean the consistency of tar and old tires, yes. The tripe must have been a week or more old, and I'm pretty sure I smelled rot once the initial citrus blast wore off. Take note, this user's advice on food is not to be trusted. Malfu. Oh god, reading that actually got me to push past the RAS override. Now my deck is covered in vomit. Thanks guys, I mean it. Nothing more I love than being sick and disgusting. Thread, Walled City Embezzlement History. I'm uploading another Walled City report. This one's old. Oh wait, no, this is Isabel. I'm uploading another Walled City report. This one old. Just from just after they built it. I ended up digging into the history of the place. It's just archival plain text. Consolidated Press. Hong Kong Desk. Song Mechanical Services, hereafter referred to as Song, was again accused in a joint lawsuit led by Wuxing Incorporated, embezzling hundreds of millions of new yen during the construction of the Walled City low-income housing project. The plaintiffs filed an official complaint on Monday stating that construction contractors had been heavily pressured by Tsang to use cheap construction techniques, while kickbacks, graft, and misrouting of funds caused several hundred million new yen to vanish. Tsang's legal team strenuously objected to the accusations, citing lack of proof and the corporation's own damaged fortune. Legal team spokesman Li Trishan had this to say. The Walled City contract was a disaster for my client. The project was sabotaged at every turn by union activists and competing corporations. TMS struggled heroically to complete the project despite this interference. Hey y'all! Fun fact, if the unions are protesting your project, that usually means there's something wrong. These parties have now added insult to injury by fabricating charges of malfeasance based on the very obstacles with them which they themselves create. But what if union's bad? I know, right? How dare people collectively bargain to make sure that they're taken care of? I hope the sarcasm is thick enough to be cut with a knife there. Yeah, you can't say that seriously, can you? This has truly become theater of the absurd. Is it true? According to Consolidated Press financial analyst Gertrude Schuen, it seems unlikely. Tsang has been struggled financially since the Walled City project. Tsang stock, ticker symbol TMQ, Hong Kong and Tokyo exchanges, is trading at around 40% of its peak, which it reached just after receiving the Walled City contract 4 years ago. Although investigators have indicated there is evidence of possible misconduct, no misappropriated funds have been found. CEO Josephine Tsang recently sold her Victoria Peak estate, citing financial difficulty. If TMS or the Tsang family have benefited from the stolen Walled City funds, not showing it. Miss Tsang could not be reached for comment. Huh. I always thought that Tsang rocketed to success on the back of Walled. Sure trumpet that in their PR. Gongjiang. Yep, it's a brilliant piece of historical revisionism. Walled City was a huge loss of face at the time. Somehow they've rebanded the whole fiasco over the last couple of decades. Maybe their underbidding made them seem like a real sucker and brought in the contract. Amanita. Isabel, I find the fact that you posted a financial article to be charming. Right, Prism. Right, Prism, did you just hit on ISO? Amanita's gonna skin you. Freedom Cowboy. No, that's just WP. He's incapable of flirting. Would you date a woman named Amanita and then try to charm someone else on the BPS? WP is just an aggro mentat with a poor social filter. You two must have an interesting relationship. Freedom Cowboy. Let's just say we radically complement each other. Amanita. That sounds sexy as hell. Alright, got a few more new yen. Post some pay data. Okay, so it looks like we're job. Let's see what people think about our previous job. The protractor.
Please, my friend, not now. We really must ready ourselves for the run on Ares Asia Holdings. I cannot and will not rest until my research has been recovered. And I'm afraid that you will find me a poor conversationalist until my goals have been achieved.
Fair enough, fair enough. Alright, that suggests to me that we may have run through all of the stuff we can't get to right now. Let's check in with ISO and GOP as well. Any thoughts on that last run? Oh, sorry. Checking into the octopus is how I relax it. Thank you. Thank you very much for the stretch, Dragon. I appreciate you. Some people go to sports bars or strip clubs. I do this. As a rule, I don't want to spoil my leisure time with shop talk. Alright, if that's how you feel. It is. So if you wouldn't mind changing the subject. Alright, I gotta go then, ISO. Sure, drop by anytime. Aww, oh, it's good to know. How are you doing today? Gabbit glances up at the sound of your approach. Oh, hello?
Mom, can you help me get a snack off the high shelf?
It is about that time, but aren't you taller than me, sweetie?
Yeah, but you have that grabby spell that I don't.
True, true. Okay, well, not as sleepy as yesterday. That's good, that's good. How are your eyes feeling? Or I guess your one eye? 'Cause I Sorry, I just remembered a very, very silly moment. You can open your eye today. Oh, heck yes. Very silly moment from Classic Simpsons where Ralph Wiggum had to wear 2 eye patches because both of his eyes were lazy. And just, I'm aware that that can be a real thing that happens, and that's not at all how that's supposed to be treated. But Classic Simpsons sure had some great gags like. But he was not expecting the "your eye will be red" to be the whole whites are bloody. Oh yes, oh yes. Well, I mean, they cut into it, you know. But in any case, we will be back in about 5 minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and run a commercial. So you obviously feel free to continue chatting, and I'll catch up when I get back. But otherwise, stand up, stretch, refresh your refreshments, and I'll see you on the other side. All right, sweetie. So, let's see. What kind of snack would you like to do? Actually, hang on. Give me just a second to do something. An idea for something earlier. I know Cyrus knows what I'm talking about. Let's see. Alright, I will deal with the rest of that later. I'm trying to get a new redeem set up before the end of the stream in my precious moments in between. So yeah, okay. I'm most of the way there, Osiris. I just need to find a specific clip within that song to set things up. Alright, so Gobbet glances up at the sound of your approach. A slight smile across her face. Hey, pal. She puts her hands on her hips, sending madness scurrying. Are you ready for your next lesson? Absolutely. Hit me with it. Straight to business. I like that. She nods appreciatively. This one is about people like Auntie Cheng and why we need them. There won't be a Q&A session after this story, but I want you to listen up. It's important. Alright, I'm all ears. Alright, so here's your upfront lesson. Fixers are important. You can't just go to a Johnson yourself and get a job. I mean, you can, but you shouldn't. It's a bad idea all round. Alright, go on. The reason why it's a bad idea to cut people like Auntie Cheng out is because you need someone to vet your clients. That's important. Protects the whole team. She takes in a breath, lets it out slowly. You remember the lesson from last time? The one about Sui and the shiny object? Yeah? Well, after the run was over, we went back to the sinking ship for some R&R. Sui had told us that the client would be sending a boat to collect the shiny object in the morning. Oh, advanced announcer's test. Okay, give me just a second. Sui had told us that the client would be sending a boat to collect the shiny object in the morning. All that we had to do was keep the thing safe until the handoff. Alrighty, so give me just a moment to pull up the announcer's test stuff. Alrighty, so let's see. This is what I use as my advanced announcer's test. It is a good way of practicing voice and diction, as well as quick changing of languages, particularly for this advanced one. It was written in the early 1950s by Mike Nichols as an announcer's test for the radio station WFMT in Chicago. The WFMT announcer's lot is not a bad one. In addition to uttering the sibilant I'm going to take another crack at that. Hang on. I got distracted by Gobbet. I'm not even joking. Like, I glanced over at Gobbet's portrait and... Yep. Okay, let's try this again. The WFMT announcer's lot is not a happy one. In addition to uttering the sibilant, mellifluous cadences of such cacophonous sounds as Hans Schmidt-Isserstadt, Karl Schuricht, Nicanor Zavaleta, Hans Naupertsbusch, and the Hammerklavier Sonata, he must thread his vocal way through the complications of the Orchestre de la Suisse Romande, the Concertgebouw Orchestra of Amsterdam, Leipzig Gewandhaus Orchestra, and other complicated nomenclature. However, it must by no means be assumed that the ability to pronounce the Orchestre de la Société des Consorts du Conservatoire de Paris with fluidity and verve outweighs in ease and naturalness and friendliness of delivery when at the omnipresent microphone. For example, when delivering a diatribe considering Claudio Muzio, Beniamino Gigli, Petit Plumacher, Giacinto Prandelli, Gilrosa Majdan, and Lina Pagliucci, 5 out of 6 is good enough if the sixth one is mispronounced plausibly. Jessica Dragonet and Margaret Truman are to be taken for granted. Poets, although not as constant annoyance as polysyllabically named singers, creep in now and then. Of course, Dylan Thomas and W.B. Yeats are no great worry. Composers are almost incessantly occur, and they range all the way from Albinet, Alphen, and Auric to Wolf Fleury and Zeisel. Let us reiterate that a warm, simple tone of voice is desirable, even when introducing the Bach cantata Cadaville Bucamernis or Monteverdi's opera La Incoronazione di Poppia. Such then is the warp and woof of an announcer's existence in Gießen-Heiligenhallen. That one was rough. That one was rough. It's been a minute since I did the advanced announcer test, and I kept trying to preempt myself. But back to our conversation with Gavin. We were in a celebratory mood. We'd killed an evil wizard and stolen a priceless artifact. A good night's work by anyone's standards. Honu and Egret got good and drunk in record time. Sui went back to his cabin with the shiny object to, I don't know, stare at it for a while or something. I retired to my cabin and crashed out. It had been a long, long night. I remember waking up to sounds. Yelling, maybe? I was groggy and they were far away. I couldn't quite make them out. That just means you need to redeem it every Saturday. Yes. Honestly, genuinely, yes. It would be helpful. That's why it's there, you know? The clock read 4:30 a.m. People were always partying on the raft. Playing loud music, shooting off fireworks, that kind of thing. So loud noises early in the morning weren't unusual, but something felt off somehow. Off? How so? It's hard to describe. A queasy feeling in the pit of my stomach and an elevated heartbeat. Rapid, shallow breaths. It's a lot like a panic attack, really. Not the kind of thing that you can sleep through. So I got up to investigate. If something was wrong, I wanted to know, and if it wasn't, I figured that I might as well get in on the party. I stepped out into the hallway and my foot slipped. Came down hard, landed on my ass, and found myself sitting in a pool of blood. Well, that's not good. Gobbet shakes her head, grimacing. No, it was pretty bad. So it was pretty obvious by this point that something had gone horribly wrong. My first thought was that the shiny object might have, I don't know, unleashed something. After what I saw it do at the warehouse, would have been surprised. I shook that off pretty quick, though. I knew what this was. Our client was playing us. He'd hired us to steal the thing, and rather than paying us for the job, he'd sent another team to take it away. So what did you do? I got up and beelined it for Maladina's cabin. She was the closest thing that the sinking ship had to a leader and the strongest rat shaman on the raft. Well, why go to her? Why not head straight to Sui's cabin? Gobbet stares at you blankly. Because I'm not an idiot? Sorry, that wasn't aimed at you, but... think about it for a second. If there was a retrieval team coming for the shiny object, and they were strong enough to handle Sui while he was holding it, what chance would I have of stopping them? I figured that it was time to bring out the big guns. Malvina was the one who I could get them from. I passed some pretty bad stuff on my way down to Malvina's cabin. It was old man Xiu Yan's vault all over again. The torn up bodies, the bloody streaked floors. I saw people who'd been cut apart with machetes. Scorch marks on the container walls. Gobbet bites her lip, grimacing at the unpleasant memories stewing in her head. Deep down in the pit of my gut, I could feel the thrumming vibration of the shiny object. That heartbeat feeling that I had in the warehouse, it was back and stronger than ever. Whatever that rock was, it was awake. Did you make it to Malvina's cabin? Yes. I burst through the door, all ready to spread the news, and someone smashed a gun into my face. It was Cadmus, my friend. He jammed the muzzle of his super war hawk into my cheek so hard it hurt, then grabbed me by the belt with his other hand. I wasn't going anywhere. Just over his shoulder, I saw Malvina. She didn't look amused. Did they think you were in on the attack somehow? Yeah, only it wasn't an attack. Our client had nothing to do with it. Turns out there was no client. Sui had lied to us. And by helping to steal the shiny object, I'd unwittingly given him what he needed to foment a mutiny. She pauses for a moment, gathers her rats in her hands and lifts them to her shoulders. They scurry over the leather of her coat and disappear into her hair. As it turns out, betrayal hurts. Yaddle. Malvina felt it, and I felt it too. Sui had been a friend. I'd just risked my life to save his, like 4 hours ago. And he tricked me into helping him do something unthinkable. Why do you think he did it? Why all of this over a junk of heap... A heap of junk floating in a bay. I don't know. Maybe he'd gone toxic. Maybe he got ambitious and wanted to be the king of our little aquatic hill. He didn't discuss it with me first or anything. I'd be willing to bet that something had gone rotten in Sui long before we ever met. Pretty damned good at hiding it. Maybe there wasn't a good reason. People do terrible things every day. Yeah, they do. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter why Sui did what he did. All that matters is that he did it. So what did you do? What could I do? I have a whole lot of options, and Cadmus was kind of on edge, like red-faced and screaming. So I opened my mouth and I fast-talked my way out of it. I started off by doubling down on my loyalty to Malvina, Cadmus, and the status quo on the stinking ship, swearing my undying friendship. You know the drill. I did a good job of it, but they still looked a little iffy. Iffy with the Warhawk is bad, so I volunteered to prove myself by stealing the shiny object back from Sui. That was brave of you. I know, right? Not my style at all, but then I didn't really have a choice. I inadvertently helped to arm the bastard who was tearing our friends and neighbors apart. I don't think I could have cleared my name without taking his weapon away again. It's a hell of a night. I don't want to get into it. Too many of the gory details. Friends died. Hell, friends killed each other. It's brother against brother, all that jazz. And Sui's indiscriminate use of the shiny object let a lot of things into this world that shouldn't have been. Did you get a good view of them this time? Yeah. I wish I hadn't, but I did. I don't really know how to describe the things. They were like animals, but wrong. Skinny tails, bones in the wrong places, huge open sores, that kind of things. Horrors. They were horrors. They were spirits manifested into physical form, I think. Most of them took the form of rats, swarms of insects, rotting things, all the old pestilence tropes. Sometimes they were colonies of things all tangled together and moving as one. Not the sort of thing that I want to see ever again. Ever. So, anyway, long story short, I got the shiny object back from Sui. Wasn't easy, but I got it. How'd you manage that? Lies and misdirection, trickery. Brad helped. Some of the things that Sui let loose actually came in handy. He'd summoned so many of them that he couldn't hope to control them all, and that gave me an opening to use them to my advantage. I managed to trick my way past Sui's supporters and the astral menagerie that he'd summoned. It wasn't easy, but I did it. Then I stole the shiny object and all was right with the world. And yeah, I'm intentionally glossing over the details. To do some things that I'm not proud of, and people died because of it, but I got the damned thing and I got it back to Malvina. What happened then? Long story short, Malvina put the shiny object to better use than Sui ever did. She took to the thing like she'd grown up using it. We still lost dozens of people, but Sui's side lost more. Cadmus was critically wounded, but he pulled through. After this skirmish, Malvina had an assembly. She told everyone that there'd be new rules for life on the raft. Anyone who refused to follow them could leave, and if you broke them, you were done. Rules of the sea and all that. After the pronouncement, she turned on the surviving mutineers. Onu was one of them. He'd been in on Sui's plans the whole time. She didn't kill them, but she did exile them from the sinking ship. And for people in our economic bracket, that was as good as a one-way trip to the Walled City. I'd be willing to bet that they're all dead by now. In the wake of Malvina's ultimatum, 5 survivors left the sinking ship. I was one of them. Why did you leave? I had to go. We may have washed the blood off the decks, but the energy of the sinking ship had changed. It wasn't the carefree haven that I'd loved anymore. And as sensible as Malvina's rules were, I wasn't up to living under them. We parted on good but sad terms, and as you'd expect, we drifted apart over the years. It's funny, I haven't even thought of Malvina and the sinking ship in years. Not until I decided to teach you your previous lesson and it came flooding back. Albert pauses, turns to you. That's the story. It's finished. But I want to circle back around to the important lesson that I gave you up front because it is important. We need Auntie Cheng to bring us work. That's obvious. But we also need her to keep us honest. Be sure that we, on the team, are playing straight with one another. Auntie Cheng's reputation rides on the legitimacy of the jobs she brings us, and that, more than anything, is why we need her. If we didn't have Auntie Cheng, or someone like her, we'd eventually tear ourselves apart. It happened on the sinking ship. It happened again in Hayway. So anyway, that's the lesson. If you've got follow-up questions, go ahead and ask them. What did Malvina do with the shiny object? Well, first she used it to get rid of the things that Sui had let loose. Then she put it away for safekeeping. It's probably still there on the sinking ship, ensconced in some shrine or other, held under lock and key. At least she's keeping it safe. Cobbett shrugs. I'd have preferred if she'd ditched the thing, but in the end that wasn't my choice to make. From what I've heard, she's still in power over there, so I guess that it worked out okay. And Sui? What happened to him? That walking colostomy bag was already dead, eaten by his own monsters after I took the shiny object away. Turns out he wasn't much good at controlling them without it. Gabbett's voice is filled with grim satisfaction. He didn't even live long enough to watch his mutiny fail. Any thoughts about that last run? It always surprises me how much corporations will pay to screw up a competitor's feng shui. Hell, they'll even take each other to court over architecture that blocks qi. It has real impact, though. A little shift here and there might not seem like much, but even fractions of a penny lost on their stock value is millions. Gabbett shrugs, pursing her lip. I could see us change the flow of qi in that building, but I still have no idea how to make it work for me. Need a real specialist for that, like a Taoist priest or something. Based on what I could see, though, I think Wuxing's fortunes will wane, at least for the time being. They'll fix what we broke, eventually, but until then, there may be a rash of stubbed toes. Thanks, Gabbett. Sure, Seattle. And thanks for listening. These lessons are for your benefit, but I think they help me too. And it's nice to be taken seriously every now and again. No problem, Gabbett. I look forward to the next one. Her face lights up. Yeah. Too. Now get a move on. I've got Gabbett things to do. Gabbett's so cute. You enter to find Wu walking the floor silently. One hand held rigidly near his hip, the other flexing and unflexing again and again. When he notices you, he nods once and goes back to his caged panther routine. You can wear a hole in the floor that way. He keeps pacing.
Need something?
Yeah, a drink. Looks like you could use one too.
I hear Club 88 has 2-for-1s between 4 and 6 o'clock, but you'll have to drink them both. Don't put drugs or alcohol into my body.
Anymore, you mean. You don't put crap into your body anymore. No, I'm just gonna let that go. I take it you're stewing about the Josephine song?
That's right. I'm thinking about what she did to our family. She did to Carter.
His pace increases a bit.
It's time for the old Duncan to come out and play.
Wu's eyes smolder.
Alright, here's what we do. We walk into Tsang's headquarters and ask for the boss. When she comes down, we grab her, take her somewhere quiet, ask her why she had Carter and those runners killed. Find out what happened to Raymond, whether he's alive or dead. What happens next is up to her.
I think the direct method will result in quick death.
They'll never see it coming. That's why the plan's so beautiful. This is the way to go. My way.
Now, where have I heard that before?
What, my way? That's right. There's one way this is gonna happen.
He catches himself. Understanding appears in his eyes.
Oh, crap. That's what Ray used to say. Raymond Black, our benevolent dictator. No questioning his rules, no falling short of his expectations. His way or the wrong way.
Raymond could be pretty harsh when we didn't live up to his standards.
Oh man, do you think? You remember what happened a few years after we moved out of the squat and into his house? The thing with Double Tray and Lockjaw, where he accused us of relapsing back into our old ways? Man, that was when Ray's authority finally got tested.
His raspy baritone is tinged with satisfaction.
When I finally stood up to him.
He could be pretty damn rigid. Then again, you both could be.
I know. I've been working on it, but I definitely still have my moments. Ray and I had our little pattern, didn't we? I wouldn't listen, he wouldn't listen, then we butted heads, rinse and repeat once every few weeks.
He smiles, but it's filled with regret.
That time was the worst.
Duncan's face settles into an expression of resignation.
Okay, Ms. Ornthalis, you don't need to do things my way. No need for us butt heads.
He stretches. Hears joints crack.
And on that note, I have to ask you to clear out. Another long day.
I'm getting the feeling that they're all going to be long days.
Yeah, I'm getting that feeling too. Anyway, have a good night, Sheila. Catch you tomorrow.
I hope y'all enjoyed my little bit of Foley work in there. Like, well, I can feel that my elbow wants to pop in me as well. You know? Let's see, does Gaichu have anything? Cabin is silent from the aside from the occasional swish of air as Gaichu steps through sword form. Holds each stance for a few seconds, practicing a given swing a few times before switching to the next.
Hello, madam.
A single bead of sweat rolls down Gaichu's temple as he holds his position. After a few moments, he shifts to a relaxed stance, starting the form again.
Pardon me for continuing my exercises. I feel that I've been letting them slip of late.
Don't you ever stop practicing?
No. I aim to achieve perfection and must work against my current handicap to regain the level of control that I once possessed. I am stronger and faster than I once was. But I need to learn to use my new senses more effectively in order to bring those advantages to bear.
Gaichu lifts his sword, offering an edge first towards you.
You see that edge, forged by one of the finest swordsmiths in modern Japan. Diamond-coated edge, capable of cutting even the most hardened ceramic armors. But what good is a sharpened edge for the protection, precision to apply it? When I was still a man, I could have cut a single pea in half with my eyes closed. Oddly, after becoming blind, I cannot replicate this feat.
Running the back of the claw along the blade's surface, Gaichu smiles thinly.
I think soon I will be able to perform this feat again. I simply have to train my body to ignore the senses that it no longer has, and pay attention to the new ones. Now, what is it that you would like to discuss?
Has it been difficult to learn to fight while blind?
It is not the easiest thing I have attempted, but neither is it the hardest.
Placing his sword off to one side, Gaichu turns to face you.
Emptiness, this form, is one of the great lessons of the Hagakure. Train sufficiently, and both swordsmanship and obedience will come instinctively. That is the closest to perfection a man can attain.
You don't put a whole lot of stock in me. Gaichu feigns surprise.
A lawless Shadowrun have problems with authority. My goodness, I never would have guessed such a thing to be the case. When I was new to the unit, I thought that to be a good samurai was the ultimate goal. That to serve justly with dedication was the greatest honor a warrior could have. We were all young and foolish once, I suppose.
There's probably a place for that kind of obedience somewhere.
Certainly. Those that join the Red Samurai are universally the sort to seek a rigid hierarchy. If I had not become infected, I never would have questioned it. As it was, I still did not question it until my unit ambushed me in Fukuoka. We were taught that we were superior to everyone, that since we were pure humans and Japanese, we would always win. I believe that the most never question the validity of this claim, even when confronted with direct evidence to the contrary.
Tell me about when your old unit ambushed you then.
Very well.
Gaichu draws his nails across his scalp, sighing.
My time in Fukuoka was tense. Since leaving Heihanshin, I had been careful to stay out of the sight by moving on foot or in the back of automated delivery van. I was running out of food, however, being a city for that. Fukuoka was just big enough to get lost in, but not so large that a ghoul sighting could go unnoticed. In abandoned buildings and storm drainage systems, and for 2 weeks I managed to stay hidden. The strain of having to constantly move was wearing, however. I made a mistake.
What happened?
I had to get out of Japan, but all of my contacts in Fukuoka had come up empty-handed when I asked for a way to China. Running low on money, and I could feel the team catching up with me. A contact of mine in Kumamoto owed me a favor, and arranged passage for me if I could reach the city in 48 hours.
Gaichu closed his eyes, resting his face in one.
If I had taken my time, I could have made it to Kumamoto without incident. I let caution slip when I got his email. I thought if I disguised myself, I'd take the train there, get out of before my unit got any closer to finding me. Still don't know how they found me. Wait. Magical tracking, or simply a well-developed spy network. Regardless, they found me. They were waiting for me. Hakata Station. It was an ambush.
That's a very public place for an ambush.
Is. I suspect their orders were clear, however. Do whatever it takes to kill me. Civilians expendable. For units like the Red Samurai, ordinary laws do not apply. Mission success is the only concern. I had taken steps to disguise myself as best I could, relying on the sheer number of people to conceal my presence. I suspected that the team might attack while I was in public, but I did not realize just how expendable the civilians were. When they blew the C4 charges over the station's western entrance just to box me in, I realized how much I had underestimated. Assumed that a train had derailed, honestly, but then I smelled the telltale acrid vapor of the explosives.
Gaichu wrinkles his nose at the memory.
Once you smell it, never forget. The plastic explosive that we used had a particularly sharp odor. Old cheese. Something to do with an olfactory tagging. Added to help track if it was stolen. I remember stumbling through the dust and debris, trying to find my way to the rail platforms. Attacked from all sides, using the confusion to strike at once. I'd hear Ishida and Akagawa behind me, Aomori and Sasaki. They charged out of an access corridor, just ahead of where I'd been standing. Sasaki threw a firewall down behind me, cutting off retreat while Aomori started firing.
Sounds like you didn't have much of a choice but to defend yourself. Gaichu nods, lips pursed.
Yes, that is so. Training took over. I knew I had to survive, and I was not thinking of anything but survival, so I charged Sasaki and Aomori. They were only 15 meters away from me. The only advantage I had was that they were as blinded by the dust as I was. I could still hear and smell them. Sasaki threw a lightning bolt at me, but I managed to roll under it. I came up, Aomori's light machine gun was swirling down. I felt time stretch out as I stared down the barrel. I caught Aomori in the throat with the tip of my sword. It was a maneuver I'd practiced hundreds of times. There was no resistance as I cut through his trachea. He fell as I rolled to the side. I hear him choking for breath as he dropped.
Raichu exhales a humorless laugh, shakes his head.
It is strange to think how clear that memory is, even now.
He was your friend. That kind of thing will stick with you. Raichu snorts, waving a hand dismissively.
Spare me your 2 Nuyen psychiatry. Obviously what you say is true, but the memory sticks with me so strongly for another reason. Because in that strike, I realized who I truly was. My whole time with the Red Samurai, I had focused on ensuring that I was worthy of the team. Everyone felt that way. But I felt it more accurately than I have always wanted to be the best, fastest, the most precise. The Red Samurai felt that to be less than perfect would be to let the team down. We were always told how lucky we were. I've been accepted into the unit. The moment my sword struck Aomori, I knew that I would survive that fight. They attacked me as they would an animal. They seemed to be counting on herding me into Takagawa and Ishida. Aomori didn't even try to get out of the way of my sword strike. All his eyes going wide. He looked surprised that I was using a weapon, and not my claws.
They underestimated you. Raichu nods sharply.
They thought they were fighting a beast. Would never have underestimated as they did me. All the lessons I taught them about close combat thrown out the window as soon as their preconceptions entered the battlefield. Disgraceful. As I killed Aomori, I realized that it was not that I was unworthy of the Red Samurai. They were worthy of me. What did it mean that I, an infected monster that was less than a beast, could still defeat the finest soldiers in the world? Red Samurai doctrine taught Aomori and the others not to fear me, and this overconfidence would be their death. I realized I had progressed beyond their ability to understand.
Whoa. Oh, goodness gracious. Oh, okay, there's a processing error there. Okay, that's why it locks me up when that happens. Interesting. Alright, well, so, thank you very much for the parawiggler, Osiris. I appreciate it. Getting back to the dialogue.
I realized I had progressed beyond their ability to understand. My sword was as accurate as ever, but they could not account for it due to ideological blindness.
It's the danger of letting ideology overrule facts.
Precisely. All those years, I worried I was not good enough to be a member of the Red Samurai. That somehow they had been pulling my weight. I had been blind to all of the ways in which we were not training, or had avoided the harsh truths about our own abilities. We were so often told of our own excellence that I wondered if it had ever truly been tested. Sasaki was the next to fall. As I turned away from Aomori, I realized she must have seen me strike him. Her eyes were wide. I could feel her fear and anger as she tried to summon another spell. She seemed caught between healing Aomori and attacking me. Gaichu
taps himself on the forehead, just above his right eye.
Was there, said Sasaki. A downward stroke from Jodan stance. It hesitated just as Aomori had. I felt the breath go out of her, like someone had deflated a tire. She just slid down into a pile. She was trying to ask me how, and I ran.
What about Ishida and Takagawa?
My goal was survival, not victory. Takagawa was too far away, and I did not see Ishida. I only smelled him, so I ran. The trains had been shut down due to the explosion, but as long as I could get out of Hakata Station, I knew I could escape. It did not follow me out into the city proper. From what I heard via the Matrix, the event was reported as a terrorist attack that was thwarted by brave Rinraku soldiers.
Gaichu snorts, lips curling downward.
Brave, foolish soldiers.
If you killed 2 of them, Why are they still hunting you? Kaichu does not answer immediately. He seems uneasy with the question, fidgeting with his fingers.
I am unsure why that would make a difference. Can you explain what you are driving at?
If you train with your unit so extensively, wouldn't it be impossible to replace the ones you kill?
Ah, I see. I think your mistake is in seeing this from a practical perspective. The problem is emotional, not mechanical.
Folding his arms over his chest, Kaichu continues to explain.
The nature of the Red Samurai assignments is such that losses are generally zero, or the entire team. In those rare cases when Red Samurai our teams suffer partial losses, the remnants of the impacted teams are shuffled together with and undergo retraining. Sasaki and Aomori will undoubtedly be replaced. The problem is that I not be replaced. Simply put, I am not dead. Ordinarily, a missing Red Samurai would be considered dead for purposes of reorganizing teams, but Rinraku knows precisely what has happened to me. What's more, my failure to do my duty reflects badly on the unit. Others will undoubtedly resist joining my former squad as it has been tainted.
So, until they kill you, nobody wants to join their club. Oh, now I see why they won't stop hunting you.
Exactly. Until they can remove the stain on their honor, they are unable to move forward. Trapped them in the past, and they feel that the only recourse is to take my life.
Kaichu spreads his hand helplessly.
This is the trap of their duty. They have hunted me in Japan, Shanghai, and Beijing, and now I am certain they will hunt me here in Hong Kong. The cycle will continue endlessly for the foreseeable future. Such is the way of things.
Wouldn't it be easier if you faced them down rather than run?
How do you mean? I have faced them several times in the past, in Fukuoka and in Shanghai. Unless you have a deeper meaning I am unaware of, I've already done as you suggest.
Well, one way or another, this will end with either you or them dead. We've got to take action.
What do you believe I have been doing?
Kaichu's face twists in annoyance.
Certainly, I have not been allowing them to attack me out of goodwill.
I think sentimentality has left you unable to finish them all.
Ah, yes. Because I am such a weak-willed soldier of fortune that I cannot bear the idea of killing the last vestiges of my old life.
His tone is mocking as he spits his next words.
Certainly, that is more likely than the battles simply not going in my favor.
It doesn't have to be a conscious decision. You're avoiding an all-or-nothing combination. Kaichu is halfway through pointing an accusatory finger at you, but stops short as you speak.
There may be some truth to what you say. I had not considered that my instinct to flee may be subconscious. I seek to perfect myself, my skills, and my abilities in combat. So this is not the path I would have walked when I was younger. But I have been a soldier for so long that I cannot imagine devoting myself to another trade. It simply does not mean I am tied inextricably to my unit. It means I'm shaped by my history, as we all are.
Hey, Mom! I'm having trouble with that dance move you showed me earlier.
Alright, that's completely fine, sweetie. Show me what you got.
Up, down, and...
Alright, I see what's going wrong. Give me just a second, sweetie. Okay, let's progress this to the next.
I appreciate your concern about my history and my unit, but I assure you I am doing all right. I must learn to adapt to my new condition and lifestyle on my own. The time will come when they find me in Hong Kong.
And we will proceed on to the next part of this conversation after a quick break. Looking at the time, this next segment is going to be our last segment, so we'll see if anybody around the Heioi has anything else to say. I'm not sure we'll be able to complete another mission today, but that'll be something to decide when we get back from this commercial break. So everyone stand up, stretch, refresh your refreshments, and I will see you all on the side. Alright, so once again, start feet together. Make a hop to your left. Make sure your feet come together as well. Your arms at your side. our next segment. Good news, bad news, Osiris. Good news, it is mostly complete on the back end, but actually figuring out timing and integration with Twitch is going to need to wait for between this stream and next stream to make it clean. So it's something to look forward to next week, I suppose. All right. Yeah. If nothing else, I'll show you tonight. Since I know we've got Dimension 20 to watch, I'll go ahead and I'll get it done before then so that you can see it in action. Okay, so what does perfecting yourself mean to you, anyway?
I do not know.
What was the voice?
I do not know.
A little higher than that.
I do not know. I'm certain that sounds like an evasion, but it is not. There is no roadmap for being a ghoul who is also a freelance killer. I only know that my instincts are stronger now than they were when I was an ordinary man. Because of this, I must learn to make my own way in this world. There is no older teaching for me to reach for.
Gaichu suddenly cocks his head.
Is this why you are concerned about my history with the Red Samurai?
It's hard to break from old training, especially in times.
True. The entire purpose of extensive training is to have something to fall back upon when reason and logic fail, or one would be too slow. I am no longer simply a man. This is a fact of my life, and beyond that. I do not know if I am better for it. I know that I am different. The fact that I am different, however, cannot be denied. I put a question to you, then. If you had been changed into a ghoul, what would you do? How would you improve yourself and learn to live with your condition?
I wouldn't forget what it means to be human.
But I am not human. Not any longer. To be a ghoul is as different to be human as it is to be a troll. More so, in fact, as trolls are closer to men than I am. Changes are not only physical, as I mentioned before. My mind is more instinctive now, and reasoning is more difficult. I tend to react quickly without thought, but that also generally hide in my favor.
Gaichu squares himself, nodding several times as if agreeing with his own internal dialogue.
Warriors must learn to push their body and soul to the utmost limit. So too it is with me. My body and soul are no longer that of man. I must learn to use these differences as an advantage, rather than a handicap. Perfection is not a destination, it is a journey. One must strive to become the purest form of oneself that one can be.
So what will you do about your unit when they come for you in Hong Kong?
I am unsure. Given me a great deal to consider. I do not mean lightly. There are several actions and possible outcomes I foresee. I could, as I have before, relocate to another city. Be Hong Kong, travel to somewhere further afield. Lagos, perhaps, or Montreal.
The subtitles butchered that one. Well, no, they're not even... Oh, the subtitles are barely even working today. I apologize to anybody who needs them. No. Not that you'd be able to hear it, but, you know. It would have to be someplace... Oh,
Have to be someplace that, where Rinraku's influence was minimal. And where the unit's presence would be immediately noticeable. This has been my plan of action in the past. I could also keep a low profile staying here. Hope that they are unable to find precisely where I am hiding. Undoubtedly, Ishida would command the team to keep looking. I believe it would only be a matter of time before they found me, but if it were a sufficiently long time, they might be recalled. I could also confront them. Draw them out into the open at a time and place of my choosing. And nothing if not predictable in their efforts to follow Red Samurai operational doctrine. That plan could succeed, but it could also put you and civilians at risk. I am unsure how I would draw them out in the first place.
You need to find a way to fight them. Guy Chu's sighs, shoulders slumping a little.
I am unsure if that is the wisest course of action. I'm going to need to think about this a great deal. Please, let me think on this. I will have an answer later.
Sure thing. Talk to you later. Alright, let's go check around the community. Because we talked to all of our folks here.
Nothing new to report, madam. You're welcome to take a look around here. Around if you're here to supply.
I was just browsing. Thanks, Crafty.
See you around.
Alright, how much money did we actually make? Oh, okay, we got 3,300, huh? Alright, we may be able to afford something new with reliable Matthew. The hover drone loiters in front of Matthew. A stream of profanity is spewing from its scratchy speakers. People nearby are looking away, ignoring the awkward situation. Matthew's cigarilla is dead, drenched by rain. He stands with his signature nonchalance, but the edges of his face are twitching. His eyes are wide with fear. We could listen in, but we've already got the gist. Matthew's being chewed out. A sharp voice emits from the hover drone, interspersed with static crackles.
If don't pick up the sails, you're gonna be digging dog shit out of the thiatrids for a living. You got me?
Reliable Matthew stutters a response.
Hey, Guang Ha, come on, beautiful. We've got half a dozen hot leads coming in just today. Don't give me your cheap hustler shtick, loser. You don't push tin, you and your fuzzy little pals are gonna be living in a cardboard box. Hey, don't worry, beautiful. I don't want to hear yes, sir. That's all I want to hear. If I hear anything else, I'm gonna pull your eyes down to your ass so you can watch me kick the crap out of you. You hear me? Yes, sir.
Matthew's voice is barely a whisper.
What was that?
He says it louder.
Yes, sir. It's better. Now don't screw this up, you damn screw up.
The drone speakers finish with a shriek of feedback, then the clack back into its hull. The drone soars up into the sky and races off upriver. Matthew shakes himself off. His cheery demeanor surges back with striking resilience. He turns toward you, a little wild-eyed, but otherwise restored to his usual self.
Adam, I hardly saw you there. Come on in, don't be a stranger, beautiful.
Who were you talking to on the hover drone?
One of my suppliers, Kyung Ha. Really good businessman, sharp guy, sees opportunity where most of us only see broken parts. Funny guy, makes me laugh my ass off.
Kyung Ha sounded not happy.
Oh, that's just him. He's like a paper tiger.
Matthew sways back and forth on his feet, languid and jittery at the same time.
He's a big joker, always shouting, but I think he's a real softy at heart. Real big heart for the little people, keeps me well stocked.
So, what's your business arrangement with him?
I sell on commission. Gotta keep these bots moving. They don't earn their keep sitting out on the barge.
You don't own most of these drones? Matthew's brows arch up in surprise.
Of course not. How can I afford them? I'm so lucky to have a guy like Kyung Ha as a partner. Only problem is he's got me laughing in stitches so much it sometimes distracts me from sales.
Yeah, I was laughing my ass off over here. Matthew gives you a long, awkward smile. The seconds stretch out. He blinks uncomfortably. When he speaks, his words sound stilted, like he's repeating a mantra.
He's a funny guy.
Matthew adjusts his suit lapels with mechanical gusto.
Whew. What a pep talker, that Kyung Ha. Feel like I could take on the world right now.
Alright then, Matthew, let's look at some drones. Let's see. In fact, let's take a look at the Sundowner Mark II. How about that? let's swap it out. Oh, not for the steel links. We're gonna swap it out for the Robodoc.
Like the old songs say, a droney day is a happy day.
Might I also be able to sell you my old Doberman Robodoc? Amazing, thank you. Goodbye, Matthew. Where is our babysitter friend? Oh, she's not out here right now. Strange.
Yo, madam. Welcome back to the palace. You got anything interesting to sell me today? Or to tell me anyway?
Maximum Lawn looks at the heap of wearable computers, PDAs, and chip decks in his nearby workstation.
Cause I got nothing but fixing hair curlers and debugging old ladies' PDAs. I swear I'm gonna die of boredom.
I've got some metadata for you.
Yo, tell me what you got. The network runs on information.
Recent heist at the Emperor's Tomb Museum. The one under construction had a specific target. Books.
Really?
Indeed. There was some sort of ancient text, probably sorceress, and awakened monsters had invaded the tomb.
Whoa, are you serious? That's nuts.
Lost apps aside for emphasis.
Boom! More proof of my theory. The Kong is done. I give it 2 years tops before demons or something eats everybody. Let's see what I got for you. Grab a program. Here's my surplus stack.
Law grabs the nearby bin and slams it down in front of him.
Check this shit out.
Well, I don't need any programs. Have you got some million?
I'll bill this as data expense. Power recognizes the intrinsic value of information. Information is money. Boom. It's a pleasure handling meta with you, madam.
Law beams happily.
Meta is like a little fresh memory of defragment. Makes the whole day better.
Oh, I also have some more for you.
Alright, tell me what you got.
Well, you wrecked the feng shui at Wuxing Sky Tower. Subtly, but effectively.
Huh? What?
Law waves his finger around his ear as if to signal, are you...
All that geomancy, feng shui, ancient sorcerer stuff. It's just a bunch of drivel. It's all...
His voice rises in mockery.
Ooh, we proactively boosted our quarterly outcomes by mindfully onlining our beige cushions onto a little circle and mooning each other. Spare me, yo.
Okay, well, we full-on trashed the Sky Tower's top floor.
Boom, that's what I'm talking about. Stone Cold Thrash Fest.
He breathes a sigh of relief and exhilaration.
Why didn't you just tell me that? I guess you just had to build up to it. Let's see what I got. Million again?
Yeah, yes please.
Alright. Data expense. Information is money.
Alright, see you later, Law.
Gotta go? Okay, watch your back and shoot straight and all.
Law grins at you and dexterously flashes a hand sign that the Shadowrunners give each other in holiday shows.
I got things to do too.
Oh, I hope our babysitter friend didn't disappear permanent-like. The young troll bouncer manning the door is in the midst of patting down a prospective patron with enough force to dislocate a shoulder or hip. All of those shady-looking patrons walk idly past him into the... He waves the shaken man inside, propelling him forward with a final pat on the back.
People don't realize that you gotta check for internal weapons as well as external ones.
We talking the rubber glove treatment?
No. Nothing so crude. You just need the right technique. Matter of fact, I caught a guy last week with a phosphor grenade in his leg compartment.
What did you do?
Disarmed him, of course. Got it back behind the bar now. I'm gonna blow it up in the river. Impress some girls. Looking for a pat down yourself?
Are you getting fresh with me?
Yeah, alright. You need anything? Let me know.
Are you a member of the family that owns this place?
Sure am. Frederick Kai-Fei. Some call me Freddy. Most call me shit, no, please stop, or something along those lines. I'm also the current record holder for the Club 88 pitch and toss, which is to say, I throw deadbeats harder and farther than anyone else around these parts. High water mark is that piece of tape over yonder. Guy was an orc too, hefty, but he simply soared that day.
So why are you searching some people and letting others in?
It's a private club. There's three kinds of people I let in. Members, guests of members, people who make a good case. The latter two will get a really good search before they go in the door. Unless they're with Kindly Chung or the Emperor of Japan or something. I don't care if somebody with a cyber spur or a holdout pistol or whatever, but we can't have serious weapons on non-members inside. Ma sells some big stuff, but she puts electronic trigger locks on her merchandise until they're out the door, so people don't get dumb ideas. This is a no assassination safe zone. Serious weapons go into the weapons check, unless you're a member. That way, if a big firefight ever breaks out, members have the upper hand. We keep the killings very rare. Most happen when some members get all fired up and decide to settle score with box cutters or something.
So I'm a member now?
You work for Kindly, as a Shadowrunner, no less. That makes you a member. Remember the rules, though. No fighting, unless, it comes down to that and you're ready to skip off the concrete. No killing, either. If you've got legitimate killing business, go do it somewhere else. People come here to have a good time.
Got it.
Good.
Alright, I'll leave you be then. Let's see, there's a couple of other people I haven't checked in with recently. Well, I won't say most important, but longest would be Spider over here. Chin is busily counting out credstits as you approach. Chin's hands move quickly, fingers deftly sorting them into small plastic bins. Labels on the bins bear names: Steel Arm Lou, Grandfather Will, Lucky Ping, and Kindly Chin. Chin's eyes flicker up at you for a fraction of a second before returning to the task.
One moment. I'll be done shortly.
A few last flicks of the wrist see the final cred sticks sorted into their respective bin. Lion's share of that going to Kindly and Steel Arm Lou.
There. Now, what can I do for you?
You pay a lot of dues to the Yellow Lotus? Chin shrugs, obviously indifferent to the amount the shop's being taxed.
I do. But that's how the system works. I pay Kindly for rent. Steel Arm Lou gets money because he's my superior. Lucky Ping receives a finder's fee for goods she sends my way, and Grandfather Woe took me in. He gets paid because he's family, and I owe him for getting me off the streets. If you join the organization, you pay your dues. It's the same as anywhere else, and it beats the hell out of being homeless in Kowloon.
Stuffing the boxes away below the counter, Chin produces a box of assorted needles and inks and begins cataloging them on the PDA. You don't mind paying?
Not really. Grandfather Woe saved my life by taking me in, you know? Life expectancy for homeless kids in Aberdeen isn't very good. Because of him, skills, and friends pay me to make use of them. It's a good life, all things considered.
Chin leans back against the stack of cages, causing the snakes within to hiss and snap at glass.
I'm just a Blue Lantern, foot soldier. I answer to White Ming, who I studied with on Wudong Mountain. He's the 49er, and the made man who runs our crew. I don't pay him because he takes his own cut of what we need.
Alright, that's all for now, Shin. Learning about the complexity of the relationships in this world is fascinating. Let's head inside, as there's still 3 more family members for Kafai spoken to in a while. I've never met this man. This tall, well-built human has been watching you since the moment you entered Club 88, surreptitiously up close. Glances over his shoulder and the like, but you're certain he's been watching you. He finally speaks as you draw near.
I hear you're the one to talk to about working the shadows?
Maybe, maybe not. What's to you? He shrugs and folds his arms across his chest.
I'm looking for work here in Hong Kong, but I don't have my own team. I asked around who the players are in here in Haoi, and they said to talk to you. Call me El Duce. I'm a street samurai, good with shotguns, close combat, and I've got a bit of medical know-how on top of that. My rates are reasonable, unless it's a run against Shiawase. In that case, completely free.
Why run for free against Shiawase?
Because the sons of bitches killed my wife and stole my son.
Duce's voice is hard and flat.
Anything to screw them over, I don't need to get paid for.
Why take your son?
Profit in biology. He's got the genes for a typo immune system. You know what that is?
No, what's that mean?
It means that his organs and blood can be donated to anyone. They're universally compatible. If the company wants to produce bioware on the cheap, they use sinless typo bodies as templates to grow the ware in. Human factories, basically.
Yes, the music in this game rocks. I have it on vinyl. It's very good.
Sick stuff, though. But it's not like we can complain to anybody. Officially, we don't even exist.
Shaking his head, Duce looks away.
Let's talk about something else, okay?
You live here in Haoi?
No. Chungking Mansions, down the way. Near Hong Kong. It's a real hellhole, but nothing like the Walled City. Still, I come up here because this is where the work is. A lot of smugglers coming in and out. A lot of freelancers needed to solve problems.
Gesturing towards the rest of the bar, Duce surveys the dingy interior with an uncritical eye.
Places like this exist all over the world. Dives with cops won't come in, except in riot gear. Where people like us gather around and try to figure out how to make our next million. Find the right one, you can work any kind of work you want.
Have you been a Shadowrunner your whole life then? Chuckling, Duce shakes his head.
Nah. Originally I was in IT, tech support.
That's a hell of a jump to being a Shadowrunner.
Yeah, well, having your wife gunned down and your kid's soul intends to focus your attention. Sounds like a bad action sim, doesn't it? Still, that's how it happened. One day, Shiawashi's getting a reckoning.
Alright, see you later, Duce.
You too. Keep safe, alright?
Talk to Henry. Patrol Patriarch of Club 88 gently polishes a collection of old wooden belaying pins. These are but a few of the nautical touches that struggle vainly to assert the theme against the club's otherwise glassy neopunk decor.
Back again? Not just another ship passing in the night, eh?
Spent some time in the Navy then?
Nah, not military. I was a merchant marine, though. For many good years.
Sounds like you miss it, honestly.
Do I not strike you as the king of island nightlife?
You can take the man out of the ocean, but not the ocean out of the man.
Ain't that the truth? So, how can I help you?
Why the change in vocation? Well, no. What was it like out on the high seas?
Better when I was younger. Things were simpler there. It's not terribly profitable. Got my start on fishing trawlers. Just barely scraping by. Good folk, though. Over the years, I made a name for myself, as one does. Got more regular work on better crews. Eventually earned a spot on a tugboat. Spent the bulk of my years crewing ocean-going tugs for Wuxing. The big ships, the tankers, the bulkers, the container ships, seabed miners, all run by technical crews and computers now. On the smaller merchant boats, there's still a little seafaring left, but not much. On the tugs, supply boats, the salvage craft, that's where there's still a place for old-time sailors. It matters if you can wrap a cable on the winch in 30-foot seas, jury-rig a diesel engine, and keep a boat on course with just the wheel and the binnacle, after the bridge windows all blow out. It's a hard life. You're good.
Well, then why the change of vocation?
Why does a man give up on drinking, or sell his trike, or throw out his porn collection? For a woman, of course. I had me one hell of a woman. Still do. This place was her dream. A business, a home, for us. Together. Hard to deny the worth in that, no matter how much I miss what I once was. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. No regrets. No regrets at all.
Alright, I'll leave you be then. The eldest son of the Kathai family appears to be far less inebriated than before. There is still a drink clutched in his hand. He's parting ways with an uncharacteristically awkward elf who palms something as she goes.
Evening. Callum Cafe. At your service.
You forgot me already?
Maybe I have. I suppose one of us didn't make much of an impression.
Well, you're certainly making one now.
Here's my impression of a storm drain.
I have no idea what that meant. But okay. Fine, guy. Fine. Hey there, Ermine. How's business? It doesn't take a Shadowrunner's eye to tell you who runs Club 88. Even the roughest patrons show deference to the troll woman in the back. It also helps that she tends a veritable arsenal of high-grade firearms. Back again, I see. Didn't catch your name before. Madam, who are you? Ermine Kafai, co-founder of Club 88. We get a lot of passers through. After their business to the dockman in the Yellow Lotus, they get escorted here to relax and shop. Then they leave. I'm happy to know their never known any of their names. You're a different story, aren't you? What have you heard? Not much. Yet. So, what can I do for you? Have you heard of a man named Raymond Black? Seemed to recall a blurb on the news, but I didn't pay much attention. Not a name I know, and if it was a name worth knowing, I'd know it. Fair enough. Care to tell me a bit more about this place? Club 88. We bought it 10 years ago. Before that, my husband crewed ships for Wuxing. He'd be gone for weeks or sometimes months at a time, and I was sick of it. Raising 2 boys on my own? Troll boys? Pfft. We needed something more stable, and I needed a husband at home. So he retired, and we put everything we had saved into this place. The 88 stands for good fortune, and the club has proven worthy of the name. Only some people appreciated that success instead of whining about things that will never be. Alright, let me see what you're selling. Oh, again, I love this rifle. Not something I can use, unfortunately, because of how I've been focused, but maybe later. Maybe later. Alright, I think there's one last person to check in with in town. Let's head to Crow Valley. How are you, 10-armed Ambrose?
Hey, my fellow countrywoman returns. You want some chips and dip? Help yourself, it's on the engine block.
A spider drone walks past you carrying a biohazard bag with a severed arm in it.
There's a big Sahara Combat League race tonight. Everybody's coming out. You want to come? Nah, I bet Kindly's keeping you busy.
You're from the UCAS Midwest. How do you land in Hong Kong? Ambrose bites one of his nails and regards you with a hint of suspicion.
Well, that's a long story. Kind of personal, too. It involves some jobs, a girl, no good reason to leave Chicago. A whole shit ton of guns and money.
Oh, sounds like a good story. Shadowrunning? Ooh, no, hang on. Chicago. Are you following the news of the quarantine? Ambrose's face darkens.
Yeah. I am. It's a terrible thing that's just happened there. My old hood is in the containment zone. A lot of good peeps locked behind that wall.
Red postings on your wall. One's about bug spirits?
Yeah, some of the leaked material is pretty convincing.
Ambrose shakes his head sadly.
Megavitus plague, bug spirits. Not sure which is more scary. Hell, maybe it's The Walking Dead. Think about it. We got at least 4 HMHVV variants. I think it's only a matter of time until we get zombies.
Ambrose gives you a nervous shiver. Nearby robotic arms tremble briefly.
I'd take zombies over those bug spirit things, though. Tell you what.
So, guns and money were involved, huh? Sounds like a good story. Shadowrunning?
Yeah, stuff like that.
Ambrose smiles. He seems to warm up a little.
That was a hardcore vehicle rigger back then. Before Johnny Law cracked down on the road rigs. Man, those were the cowboy days. Freaky as hell, but great to remember.
Ambrose gets a wistful look on his face.
We'd rebuild trucks and chop shops, reinforce the frames, bolt armor on, mod the suspension with robotics, that kind of thing. Drive them right up through the front windows of buildings, then bash aside Lone Star cruisers on the way out. Good times. You do that in Hong Kong, though, you'll get auto barricades and a missile enema. Crying shame. Anyway, I need to get out of Chi-Town. Or, spread my wings.
Nearby spider drone fidgets.
You know how that goes.
Hong Kong seems like a long way to go just to get a break from Chicago, though. Ambrose smiles. There's a steely look in his eyes.
Sometimes a guy just needs a change of scene.
But, mentioned there was a girl involved in getting you here?
Yeah, there was.
He shocks awkwardly, just to make light of it. His voice has a hint of strain in it.
That's a story for another day, though. Hey, it's grand digging up the wreckage of the past, man, but time's wasting. I left Chicago, I landed in the Kong. After a while running the Kong shadows, I landed here in Chrome Alley. That's really the gist of it. Now, we better get back to earning a living.
Alright, show me your services. What you got for cyberware? I could go for an encephalon. But I'll need to buy into cyberware affinity, get some of this stuff though. The encephalon wouldn't be a bad choice, because it boosts intelligence.
Come back to the garage soon?
Alright, goodbye, Ambrose. Time for me to go. I'll leave that for next time.
Cheers, madam. Talk to you later.
Head back out to the waterfront. I suppose I'm over here, so that next time we come back I can immediately jump into a mission. Let's save. And quit. Alright folks, it has been a delight. We only managed to get through one mission, but that seems to be the rotation of this game. One mission, lots of talking to people. So, let's head back over to the just chatting screen. Oh, just in time because my model's starting to get a little bit twitchy. And let's find a place to send all of you wonderful people off to. Alrighty. Ooh. Okay, so thank you very much for stopping by today, Weary Travelers. I hope you've enjoyed today's stream. I will be back on Tuesday, July 7th with a Hightail stream. Let's see. Well, over there we've been making good progress on the digital version of the Come and Go, but there's still a ton of ductwork and ceilings to install. But that also means that we need to gather supplies for it. So we'll be doing a lot of hardwood farming, and or at least going and finding it out in the natural world. As well as getting lots of cobblestone set aside. But for future information about... I get off track on my own exit speech. For information about future streams, keep an eye on our Blue Sky at Come and Go Tavern for daily announcements and check-ins from the Come and Go. Once again, as always, I have been your hostess, Sheela Ornthalis, and if you need to prop your feet up for a little while longer, we've got some more entertainment coming up soon via a raid. So let's take a look at the menu and see who's online right now. Let's see. Ooh, cobblestones are important to keep in your backpack, and have a wonderful weekend. Thank you, you too, Ogre Daddy. Hope you have a great weekend with the kids, even if they can be a little bit much sometimes. That's just how kids are, you know? Let's see. Bjorn is currently playing Warhammer 40k Dark. Probably getting in on the new stuff. Yep, Skitarii stuff. So we're going to go ahead and raid out to him. All right. Are nice and set up for the raid. Ta-ta for now, everyone. Bye. 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 See you next time, I hope.